Welcome back to another podcast episode where we help aspiring developers get jobs and junior developers grow. I know we've been a bit quiet about it lately because the contest has ended, but a little while ago, I actually created a video for this and an audio. But I put it out there that we're going to be doing a 30-day coding challenge to encourage people to get out of tutorial mode and into working on actual projects. So that was the challenge. We had 14 people sign up for that. What you see here are the people that completed that challenge. So congratulations. We're finally at the finish line. And, I wasn't even expecting to have them on and do this as a podcast episode, but they all volunteered and we're actually going to have them share their projects. So I also have a surprise near the very end. Of course, this is also going on YouTube, so I need to make this clickbaity. I have a surprise at the very end that I think our whole community is going to enjoy. Or not, we'll see. But let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and showcase our projects, and I'll be sharing mine as well. But Andrew, should we go around and introduce ourselves? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm Andrew. I'm based out of Orlando, Florida. Just recently graduated my coding bootcamp, May 3rd. So there's that. Currently, I'm a bartender. I'm working on the weekends, and then Monday through Friday, I'm just coding away.
Very cool. How about you, Daniel?
I'm Daniel. I was a dropout at computer science. Last year, I started learning JavaScript. Last month, I was finally confident that I could move on to React, but I didn't have any project that I could showcase. So this was the right moment for me.
Very cool. How about you, Lorre?
Yeah, my name's Lorre. I'm based in London. I was a restaurant owner up until the crisis of last year. So yeah, after that happened, I thought, what can I do? And I remembered that I've always wanted to get into coding and programming. So I just took the dive, and here I am.
That's awesome. All right. So let's jump into this. I'm actually excited to see your projects. And I can tell you, I've only taken like I would load it up real quick and then I would shut it down. So I haven't even used it or explored it. So I'm learning as well. But Andrew, you want to start with you? You want to show us what you built?
Definitely. Let's see. All right. Do you see it?
I do.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I just went with a maintenance app. There's something for like residents in like an apartment complex to kind of put in work orders and get those work orders completed from the maintenance team. This is just the main page. It's going to take you straight to the login. And then there's also the sign up page. So I'll go ahead. I'll create a new user just to show how that's done. I'll call him my name. Caps. Why not? All right. And then when you create the account, you're going to be brought to the resident profile page just to kind of get your info. This is not my real number.
Not the one that popped up either?
Oh, that might have been. Call me. It's okay.
Are you sure? Because I could probably blur that out.
Yeah, if you could blur it out, that'd be cool. Okay. All right. And then once you do this, you're going to be brought to your dashboard. And then here you're going to have the option to edit your account if you need to change like your email or whatever. You're going to be able to view your work orders, submit a new work order. It'll have your information here about like what's open, what's closed. If you go to the maintenance page, this is where you would actually submit the work orders. So we'll go ahead and say my dryer is broken. I've actually made one of these before. So yeah, my dryer is broken. It's not working. Help. And you'll be able to submit that. And then here you have the option to upload a photo. I think I have some photos in here. I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll just use that. There you go. And then the photo's uploaded. But of course, it's supposed to be a picture of, a broken dryer. So you have your picture here, and your work order is complete. But there's also another side to this. Is also the maintenance, which I will log in to show you that. So if I were to log into, I also have just for testing, like if somebody wanted to check it out, there's like the resident user and then like a maintenance user. So if you were to log in to the maintenance account, it's going to have a different dashboard because you're not a resident anymore. You don't want to make work orders. You want to complete work orders. So you're going to have the view work orders. These links right here, I don't have completed yet. It's just the view work order. This is probably one of my hurdles, was trying to, I've never seen what it looks like on the back end as like a maintenance team, what it would look like for them. So I kind of had to like do what I thought it would look like, because I've only experienced it as the user, never the maintenance. So here though, you can view the work orders, and here you're going to view all the work orders for all the residents, and you'll see they're submitted. Open means that it's been started. So like here, you can see you can comment. So the maintenance has opened it, and then whenever they complete it, you can click on this, and it will now be complete. And then when you go to it won't be in the open work orders anymore. It will now be in the closed. And then if you wanted to look at the submitted and maybe leave a comment on one of them, like what was the one? Dryer is broken. You can leave a comment. Oh yeah, this is a different one. Cool. We will be there tomorrow. Add comment. And then you can now make it open to let the resident know when they log back in that it's been viewed. It'll also have like the resident information, the name, apartment number, their email. I feel like that's pretty much it for functionality. Pretty simple. I just wanted something. It's something I've used before, and like going through my coding bootcamp, I actually had to put in a maintenance order, and I was doing it thinking like, I wonder what they use to make this. Like I can make something like this,
Yeah. So this is really cool. I love the clean, simple look. I have a couple questions for you, because this is you pretty much have a maintenance app down to a T. You have all of like the bare minimum things that you would need for it. And I remember all too well, I wish my maintenance app in Chicago, my previous apartment, it looked a little bit more like this. It was hard to navigate, but I have a couple questions. What made you choose to combine the dashboards, the admin panels, for two different roles? Because it sounds like and I'm not even saying that was a bad move. I'm just wondering what your thinking was between maintenance and the resident.
For simplicity, just I was able to code less, and it just seemed to make the most sense. Like if you're a resident, I'll show you this version, and if you're the maintenance, I will show you this. But I didn't see a reason to have to build a whole nother dashboard for either one of them.
Okay. That makes complete sense to me. It'd be really cool because I like all these features. I mean, there's minor stuff like space, like maybe those links are hugging the left border just a little bit too much, but like all that's like really minor. And it all seems to work, which is nice. I would love to see. So like one problem a lot of maintenance have especially when I was in a high rise, is there were just hundreds of residents, right? And they were getting orders all the time. So one thing that I think they wish they would have had was like a priority system that was automated, not one where every customer could select like, this is, fire alarm priority, like you need to get to it. When there wasn't even a leakage, maybe like their dishwasher stopped working or something like that. So like being able to like automate it based on potential like categories or like even maintenance could potentially on the back end kind of rate what the actual priority was and create a system that actually learned that and would try to automatically prioritize it. That's probably a harder feature to build, but that would also be a very impressive feature to build, and it would actually be useful. I know you probably aren't thinking about like releasing this to the public, but that would be an interesting feature.
It's funny you said that, because that was actually one of my like Icebox features that I wanted to implement. And I just didn't get around to it. I didn't have enough time. And then, so it's something I do plan on doing, something like that, where it's like a category, like how important it needs to be solved. And that will probably be in here soon.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
I love this app. This is really cool. And I definitely like the clean look to it. I'm curious, did you make this mobile friendly?
It is responsive. I've checked it out on mobile. It's workable. You can work on it, but it's not meant for mobile, but it is responsive. So it'll work on the mobile app. But it's not 100% there yet.
Okay. Are you aiming more for front end positions after the coding bootcamp, or full stack or back end?
I like full stack. I honestly can't pick one I like more. Like I feel like I like them equally, and I'll spend like a day on the back end doing like database stuff and server stuff, and I love it. And then I just kind of want to switch it up, and I'll move to the front end. And they both kind of have their things that drive me crazy, and then they have the things that like I truly enjoy. So I feel like I haven't been able to pick yet. So probably full stack.
Okay. That's really cool. Yeah, you did a good job with this. I think to polish it up for the portfolio, if you did make it mobile friendly, I think a lot of companies would appreciate that. But yeah, awesome job with this app. And, just a reminder to people, like they were rushed. You were also like doing a coding boot camp on the side as well. And you got to remember all these participants that we invited, everyone just had their different life schedules, and some people were trying to fit it in where they could. But yeah, this was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then I didn't know if you want me to say the stack I used to build it.
Definitely.
This was built. I used Django and Python. As well as for the styling, I used a little Materialize.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. How about you, Daniel?
Okay, so I have this. This is very small as compared to Andrew's, but let's share. So, do you all see it?
Yes.
A little background about this. I came up with this app while I was doing this tutorial. It's a very long tutorial. It's like 50 hours or something. So I wondered, because I was playing with Canvas due to the while doing that tutorial. So I wondered why Zoom and other video conference app doesn't have like just you go to the website and you join. I'm not sure. I think you're supposed to install these applications, right? So,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the question was like for Zoom and stuff. Are you kind of trying to say that you were wanting to build something where you could apply like maybe potentially a dynamic background to Zoom or other video conferencing tools?
Right. It's because I was wondering why I have to install it in my system just to use it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Zoom it specifically.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always had it installed, so I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I do for at work right now. I assist them with Zoom and stuff. So I know I have it installed in all the computers in the office. So that was a little background about why I came up with this. And then so I looked around. This is mainly for filter, for background filter. It detects the person. It can be multiple people. And you choose the background, just like in Zoom, you can choose a virtual background. So the main functionality, as the title says, is to say the background, and it should work. at least. If not, I'm gonna refresh it. This is the part where it's gonna say, let's say, tropical. Yeah. So this is the texted, and it changes. Uh, you can also choose another photo.
Is it recording you right now?
Yes, it is. You have to allow it. It's true.
So the whole time you're on the website, it records you?
Right. I plan to add a button to stop recording or enable recording because as I thought about it, it's not very practical when you're in a meeting and it detects a filter and it changes. So yeah, you can also upload a file and let's try it again. Romantic. Yeah, so it's also somewhat mobile friendly because I use Bootstrap on this. So yeah, it's very small. The challenges I went through when doing this is I had to learn TensorFlow, and it doesn't really it's not very efficient in most of the systems that I have, other than this MacBook Air that I just bought. It's kind of slow right now. Let's say you can also change the background through buttons. And the speech recognition app that API that I used is experimental by Google, so you can only use it in Google Chrome. I checked TensorFlow, but I tried it. I tried the TensorFlow version of voice recognition with my BodyPix TensorFlow to detect the people on the screen. I tried them together. It's very slow. It takes like 20 seconds to detect the changes. So that's the main reason why I went with the experimental API that I could show, and it works. Hopefully, it becomes non-experimental soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have the video yet because, as I said, even the images can be very slow. So making them a video, I'm trying to make that work on my React because halfway through the challenge, I started working on the React part of it. Because as I said, I'm confident with my JavaScript now, so I'm trying to move to React, and I didn't want to do that all my projects or tutorials again, so I started doing it in React. So yeah, that's my stack for this is JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and some Bootstrap, so that I don't have to design a lot of stuff.
No one wants to touch CSS. I get it. So this is a really cool project. I like this. And, I mean, sure, it's like on the front end, it's potentially less content, so it seems simpler, but to like connect this with TensorFlow and be able to just crop that out and place it, your image on a new background, and it's dynamic. It sounds like it'll probably do that for other people, right? Like if you put me up there.
Right. I'll show you again. So you can also do multiple people.
Multiple people too. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So and yeah, I can put you up there. I just don't have a photo of you. So
that's so cool. I really like this. So I'm gonna try to better understand the app. First of all, video, that would be a really interesting feature, but we'll definitely talk about the image. So all of the phrases that it's going to recognize, they're all keywords underneath. So those are the 4 phrases that you have set up, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you had talked about building a feature where you can start and stop recording. This is a really cool tool. I'm just wondering, like, what tool did you use to crop the image?
It's a BodyPix TensorFlow API where it detects the image, it detects the people, and then there's this array of image data that it's like for every pixel, there's a number, and they put 0 on every pixel that's not part of the body, and then it extracts the ones that have ones on them. It's 0 and 1. It's basically an array of 0 and 1s, and for the zeros, it removes it. So it completely deletes the background of the image.
That is really cool. So I've never used TensorFlow. It's the first time I'm hearing of it. I think I've heard it used before, just a long time ago. So TensorFlow kind of allowed you to extract that image, put it on another background. And does it also, so I'm reading it just kind of like, it looks like automation and machine learning, but does it also interpret the language? Like what did you use to record your voice and interpret the language that you're saying?
For the voice recognition, it's voice recognition API web speech API by Google. So it's basically just gonna ask for permission to listen, and you can either have it listen for a specific keywords, or it's just gonna keep listening and it's just gonna keep throwing or returning words that it detects.
Okay. That's cool. I learned some new things, new tools to use. That's really cool. Daniel, good job with this.
Thank you.
I think doing this in React is a good idea. I would be interested to see what you come up with React, especially if you're comfortable with JavaScript. But this could definitely be a solid React app that a lot of employers are going to care about. I think this is a good choice.
Thank you. I'm kind of stuck with React hooks right now, so I'm trying to figure that out.
You and many other people. Keep pushing forward with that. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for showing that.
Thank you.
All right. So, Lorre, I'm actually going to share my screen because you are on your phone. So, where is it? You know what? I'm going to hide my project first because I am going to show I actually did a project as well. I was one of the ones that completed it. Here it is. Let's do this. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you tell me what to do and go ahead and explain it.
Okay. First, I'll explain. This is a company that my wife has just started. She's doing like cosmetics, creams and stuff. So I thought, this would be a good opportunity for me to learn how to design. And a lot of this stuff is not so much back end heavy, it's a lot of front end stuff, but a lot of the stuff on here, before we actually started the challenge, I used to look at websites and think, how on earth do you do that? Like, what is that you're doing? So I'm very happy to say that I've accomplished some of them. So just starting off first, like if you move your cursor around, you'll see that the cursor is actually just a circle, just a empty circle, which is basically just following the page Y and X axis of the DOM. So I've just linked a div to the DOM. And then if you hover over the links at the top here, you can see that it expands, contracts. So like stuff like that was like magic to me before this course. And then, if you would hover over, then you've got a menu button on the right-hand side, like a button, some bars. If you click that, a menu should slide down. Yeah, and then all of everything is linked. Yeah, everything animates. Then you could click on the About button. It's moving quite slow on my end. Is it moving as slow as that on your end?
Not on my end.
Okay, no worries then. So then if you hover over, this is something that I've always kind of tried to, because I do have a background in design before getting into the restaurant industry. So like working with like things in small spaces and like presenting information in small spaces, has always been something very interesting to me. So like if you hover over the images, they slide out and then more information appears. If you hover over the header, it transforms into a different piece of text. So everything kind of exposes new information once you hover over it. And then if you scroll down, I believe there's some more. Yeah, and then if you scroll up as well, like you can see that image kind of slides up and slides down as you come in. And so it's all really design heavy. And then if you go to the shop now, so on the shop here, I created, like I mocked up some mock products. And then if you scroll down, you could see how they scroll out and scroll into the page and stuff like that. Like this could just be, and I've coded it in a way where like, it's almost like React in a sense, the way I kind of thought about it. Whereas like you could just add multiple products without having to recode everything all over again and just put, and it would just slide down and multiple products will come in just like that. And then let's go to mine. So we've been to the about page, contact, and the contact page is just a simple contact page, but just quite clean, just simple design. And then everything can be, as I'm learning now, because when we started the challenge, I had literally no back-end knowledge, zero.
Wow. But
now I'm using React and I'm starting to learn about the back-end, Firebase, other stuff. So now
that's really cool.
I'll be able to link the contact page, be able to start adding like a payment system, maybe with Stripe or something like that. I've been looking into, and yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's first of all, you building this for your wife, like this is going to be used. This might bring you in money, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's potentially a business that can be built up. So you're solving a real problem, and you learned the front end and even some of back end. So this form actually works.
No. Nothing actually links to the database now, but it's very easy for me to do that right now. Do you know what I mean? During the course, I had no back-end knowledge, but now I can do it.
Okay, that's really cool. I mean, it sounds like all these projects where they definitely challenged you a little bit, which is the main goal that I wanted to happen from this. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I had no idea. Before we started this, I had no idea how to build something like this. I learned GSAP, which is a animation library that a lot of people know about. And that's where most of the animations are coming from. And I had to learn like just manipulating the DOM in new ways, like with the cursor and things like that. It's things that I've seen and just thought, how are you doing that? How is that possible to change the cursor of the browser? So that was pretty dope for me to learn.
Yeah, there are so many different features of CSS, and you want to be cautious because if this is an actual app and you care about user behavior and what those users are used to in the patterns across many websites, you can't go out of bounds too much, but it is fun to explore it. And like even this icon, I would actually make the argument that this icon might put people off because they're not used to it and they're not used to the interaction, but I very well could be wrong. And all you have to do is just do an A/B test, like do one where this icon appears, deliver that to 50% of the users and to 50% of the other users, like do it without the icon, just a normal icon. So these kind of cool features, like I really encourage people to experiment with them. Just look at the data and see what users are responding to. So this is adventurous. I like it.
I definitely do agree with that. Like there's a part like design has to be productive. It can't be just to look good and just because it's pretty. It has to actually work and have a meaning. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you mean totally.
Yeah, exactly. Is this mobile friendly?
Yeah, it should be most of it, hopefully.
Okay.
But yeah, you can check.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Does need some tweaks and does need some adjustments, but for the most part.
Okay, let's go. What do I want to do? Gallery. I want to see the form one more time.
I think that might be it. Oops, little bug there.
Hey, I mean, this is a challenge. It's good to be able to identify these bugs.
I think that was the main part that I had. Like, that was my biggest focus was the doing this, the media queries, and figuring it all out. And because it's a simple site, but when you get into the media queries, you realize there's so much going on, and animations, you work differently on mobile, and yeah, it was a challenge.
Well, yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. There's a reason why Andrew and Daniel chose to use, a CSS library. There's definitely a lot to it. So this is awesome. And obviously, yeah, there are a few bugs and stuff, but it sounds like you've definitely learned enough to be able to fix those. But this looks clean. This looks really good.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. I'm actually excited. I was wondering how much all three of you challenged each other with this one. And it sounds like you definitely forced yourself to learn new things. So this is really cool. What I hope you do is, fix up the bugs. If you have questions, about like what I would potentially add or what I would polish up so that it is, so that it does stand out among other projects to employers, feel free to reach out to me. We can talk about it. But overall, like all three of these are very reasonable projects to put on your portfolio, fix up the bugs, clean it up a little bit. But honestly, all three of these are definitely good enough. So awesome job with that.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch to mine. I already have a bug right there. So I've been putting off my website for a long time. I'm going to say this at the end. You know what? I'll show my website and then I'll say it at the end. But basically, I wanted a website for DonTheDeveloper.tv to showcase all of my podcast projects. And I basically just wanted a simple gallery page and then an episode, like a single episode page, which had a lot of the metadata that I think would have made it a little bit more search friendly. I did, I knew I wasn't going to get to the admin panel to be able to set a lot of this up. So I actually was so close to failing the challenge because I was like up super late trying to get GraphQL to work with Heroku. And I did get it to work, but I ended up just kind of like hard coding all the URLs to lead to different YouTube videos. So we'll load that. But ultimately what I want is an individual page. But right here, one thing that I really want to focus on was being able to showcase all of my episodes. I got to stop saying what I want to do. Let's talk about what it does. So it just showcases all of my episodes. I have a service on the back end that basically will ping the RSS feed from my audio podcast, and it just gathers a bunch of data. And then it compares that data with what's currently in my database, and it just figures out what is new, what needs to be updated. So it's kind of like an RSS feed aggregator. I built a big chunk of that, and I ended up using that feature to kind of like, I definitely had to fix it up and finish it, but I ended up using that to be able to just grab this data and grab information about the podcast. A lot of this could definitely be cleaned up. And I would recommend, I don't even know what's going on with that, but I would recommend that people kind of just bring in something like lazy loading, because I'm going to actually pick on my project just a little bit. Since it's my project, I feel comfortable picking on it. Let's see. So if you go to, image, if I do a empty cache, hard reload, you are going to see so many images that are like 1 megabyte for each image. You never want to do this. This is ridiculous. Usually you want to optimize these images, put them in like I use tiny PNG, tiny JPEG. So if you ever want to bring images into your website, you can definitely optimize them. They still look really good after that. But ultimately, like I have like, these are YouTube size thumbnail pictures that I just minimize with CSS. So they're like, 1280 by 720. So really huge pictures that all needed to be loaded, giant files. That's not okay, but I minimized it with CSS. I'd recommend that people have smaller thumbnail pictures that are also optimized. And you really need to seriously consider whether on mobile you need to be loading a lot of these images. But like one thing that can solve it is optimizing images and doing like a lazy loading, or just something like where you just scroll and then it loads all the content as you scroll down, because all this content isn't needed and all of it's loaded initially. And I already have a bug because this gets auto-generated without me, because I have to manually enter the YouTube thumbnail. So I'm going to have to fix that. But it's a really simple front end and it just showcases the projects. I want to clean up the design just a little bit. It is mobile friendly. Let's go ahead and load that. We just scroll up. I just used custom CSS and put some up there as a little navigation. I could definitely style this a little bit better, but at least it is. I'm not even going to try to scroll down. That's too many images, but at least it's mobile friendly. And one important thing that this allowed me to do was it finally got me to put time into coding. And one thing that I realized is, and I kind of just want to share this, as I've been working on my business, the more I code, the less my business grows, which is a really weird thing to have to deal with. And so as I've come back to being forced to code, I would spend about 30 minutes a day on this for 30 days. And I found that I don't believe in the 100 coding day challenge that requires you to code every single day of the week. I think people need breaks. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we had 14 people sign up. I think I did. And we had 4 people that lasted and actually completed the challenge. Life gets in the way. So I think you need to be reasonable about giving yourself breaks. But you also need to force yourself, and this is a lesson for me and a reminder, especially to keep my skills fresh. You also need to code, even if it's just a little bit each week. Try not to pile it into just like one Saturday and then let 6 days go by, and then that's it. To me, in my experience, you are not going to be retaining things as well. You're not going to be growing as fast as you can be. But this is a really cool project, very simple on the front end, that kind of allowed me to dive back into coding, explore GraphQL. For my stack, what did I use? Because I'm going to be expanding on this. I'm going to be building an admin panel, a blog, and a few other features. But I used React on the front end, custom CSS. And then I pretty much just used, on top of Node.js, Express, Prisma, and GraphQL on the back end. I think GraphQL is a really cool tool to use. Setting up a GraphQL server and making sure that it works properly on Heroku can either be very simple if you know how to do it, or it can be very frustrating when it's your first time bringing GraphQL, especially if it's in the same application. But I want to say to everyone that decided to participate in this, you forced me to do this. So seriously, thank you. And the final thing to mention, and I said I was going to be mentioning this at the end. So when I made this promise that I would finish this challenge, which I guess I did, but I would finish this challenge and have a finished project to show. I think I worded it like that. And so in my mind, I had planned to finish more. I was very confident about it, and that was my intentions with the video. I also made a promise that I would donate $250 to a charity if I didn't finish it. So, it's $250. I'm glad it's going to a good place. A lot of money just to give away when I'm building up my business. But ultimately, like, what I'm really excited is you guys get to vote what that charity is. So you guys get to decide. I might do like you know what? We're going to do it this way. So anyone in the YouTube comments, you go ahead and list a charity that you want. I think it's probably going to need to be like a 503(c). I think that's what it's called. because this is kind of hooked up to my business. So it needs to be through my business. But let me know what charity you want me to donate the money to. And I'll probably put a poll up on YouTube, and we'll go ahead and put that money out there. But, I'm actually pretty excited that this got me started, even if I didn't finish it to where I wanted to. But yeah, that's my perspective. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know. But before we kind of wrap this up, I kind of want to hear from you three. What did you think of this challenge? Like, where did it kind of challenge you? Did it kind of force you to be a little bit uncomfortable and learn a lot of technologies you didn't have confidence in learning? I kind of just want to get a feel for, how your process went.
Anyone?
Anyone, yeah.
What it taught me is, like, because I'm probably been learning how to code just over 3 months now, maybe coming up to 4 months now. And I started this course not really having any other projects and not really finishing, not having anything really completed. And I feel like now I've almost now I've got a project that I could say it's not complete, but it appears to be complete. That it's forced me now to get away from tutorials, and it's taught me that doing is much better than like just learning all the time. Now it's better to learn on the job, is what I'm trying to say. Is that I've learned a lot by just doing, and even like halfway through the course, I scrapped my project, started it completely over again, because I learned so much in those, say, 15 days that I had to change the way I thought about code, change the way how I organize my code and things like that. So it pushed me in a more productive space.
Wow. That's really cool to hear. You actually make a really good point. When you're growing, it's very hard, because this is why people start over all the time, but hard isn't the right word. I think it's very easy to notice such a drastic change, even like in a month's time, especially in the beginning. You just grow so much. I think that's why so many people scrap their projects and start new ones. But I think you've grown a lot from this one. So I'm glad you recognize that. Cool.
For me, this challenge actually made me finish something, because I've had like a couple of ideas before. I keep thinking, I can finish this in 1 week, so I'll just learn more. And I'll do this next time. I kept saying that, and when I joined this challenge, I had I had 4 ideas actually, and this is what I came up with, and I was forced to read other people's code, because I had no experience with TensorFlow before that, so I had to learn a bunch.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think your app, anytime. So this is a tricky thing though. Like, a lot of junior developers shy away from like integrations and connecting with third-party APIs, and you just being able to showcase that you were able to connect with that third-party API. Multiple ones. I think Google and TensorFlow, and just kind of bring those together and form what you've formed. That's actually something I truly think is going to make you stand out. So that was a good move. I'm glad you picked this project.
Thank you.
I think for me, one of my struggles was this is like the first project I've done outside of my boot camp. And all the projects I did in my boot camp, I always had my instructors and, my classmates, and just, I had like help in a way. And I felt like with this one, it was like my own. There was no like tutorial. There was really nothing. Every problem I faced, it was new to me to have to like I really felt on my own. But it was really nice being able to overcome that and know that like, even without like a tutorial or without something showing me every step of the way, like I could still do it. And I think just overcoming that was my thing.
That's really cool. Do you feel like do you feel like you gain a lot of confidence from breaking away from the tutorials, or do you feel like, so I'm kind of just trying to pick your brains, but do you feel like, okay, the question I want to ask is, when is the right time, do you think, to start breaking away from a tutorial and building your own project? It's a really hard decision junior developers don't often know how to make.
I mean, I think as soon as possible. I don't think there's a too early to do it, because either A, you're gonna have it down and you're gonna be able to build something, or B, you'll struggle, and then through that struggle you'll learn.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good answer. Okay. I was just curious. A lot of the things I do are off the cuff and I just wing it. And that's what this challenge was, honestly. And I kind of like the result of it. I hope you do polish up these projects. Like I said, I think all three of these projects are going to make really good portfolio projects. I mean that. I'm not just being nice. But yeah, this is really cool. So what I'm going to do, we'll kind of do our outros, but feel free, if you don't want to provide any details, that's okay. Just like mention the link of your project or something. But Andrew, if like other junior developers kind of just like want to reach out and connect to you, where could they reach you?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn will probably be the best way to go about it. Just Andrew Dimes at LinkedIn. And then if you want to check out the app, it's mymaintenance.herokuapp.com.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely put the links to the apps as long as you guys want them in there. How about you, Daniel?
You can find me in LinkedIn and Twitter, Daniel Desiatko. You can search it up. My surname's very unique. You won't find anybody else.
Perfect. How about you, Lorre?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn and on GitHub, Lorre Hagen. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So stick around for a couple minutes, but everyone that's watching, listening, like I said, call to action, put in the comments where you want me to donate to. List your charity, list your favorite charity, and make sure it's in the United States as well. But I'm happy to donate the money. And I think this is a really cool challenge. I love seeing the projects that came from it. And yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks for coming on.